Hello, my name is Peter, and tonight I will be explaining how I will be conducting a class for a student who's going to move to an English-speaking country to take up work. Now, just for the sake of argument, I'm going to give this person a job in the IT industry. Now, in the first few minutes, I will be determining many things about this student. First of all, how much language this person has acquired. And this independent user will be demonstrating how much grammar, how good the grammar is, and how his pronunciation is. And also I can determine if this person is introverted or extroverted. Either way, this person will be I will help this person brush up on their English through role plays and vocabulary tests. And we will also talk about some high frequency words and questions that will come up in social situations and as well in the working situation. Now, basic interpersonal communication skills is the first thing that we try to teach to all new students, to especially ones coming who know some English, but especially they want to be uh, respected in their positions in the job and also socially. Now, some of these next few questions will be of the social type. First questions are, where are you from? Everybody is curious as to your home country or even the city. Is it a big city, a small village? And everybody will be interested in that. They'll also be interested in how old you are. Not everybody will ask you how old you are, but you should be prepared to answer that question. Now, aside from that, the next question might be of what your education would be like. How much education have you had, and where did you have it, and where will you take it if you continue it in the English-speaking country? Where will you live? Where is this job? Where will you live? Where you live in a home out in the suburbs? Will you live? Is that where your job is going to be? If your job is in the big city, will you take public transportation to work, or will you have to have a car? Will you have your wife? Will you have your husband? Will you have any children? Any pets? Next, people will be interested in what kind of hobbies you might have. Are you musically inclined? Do you play an instrument? What kind of music do you like? Are you a rock and roller, or do you like Beethoven and Bach, or do you like jazz? So people will be interested in that. What kind of sports do you like? Sports is a huge culture all over the world, so people are sports fans. Many people are sports fans, so they'll ask you what kind of sports you like to watch or play. And a lot of more popular outside America anyway is soccer. So many people play soccer like the kids in America play baseball. So are you a baseball fan? Are you a soccer fan? Are you a basketball fan? So do you like to watch or do you like to play or both? Uh, do you like movies? What kind of movies do you like? Do you like to go to movies or do you usually rent DVDs to bring home? If so, what kind of movies do you like? Do you like comedies, action, drama, horror, documentaries? Are you a person who watches TV? Do you have any favorite shows? Uh, and so role plays are essential to getting that done. And then so we'll be doing many role plays each day, each class, each situation. And so I will be a curious person, a coworker, say, asking, where are you from? What kind of schooling have you had? Do you have a family? And so on. So now we're going to move into some of the basic terminology of, of IT industry. So here we go. We're going to be using this. I will use this to write sentences and other words on so that you can follow and write down yourself. So terminology, of course, is monitor. See, the IT industry works hand in hand with computers. And so the basic equipment for a computer is monitor, keyboard, mouse, and tower. The monitor is the screen in which you view all the information. The keyboard is where you input all the information. The mouse is what you move around to highlight certain items. And the tower, of course, is where all this energy is kept. The wires coming from the wall to give it the power, and that arranges it to go to either the monitor or into the memory. The printer is a machine that makes copies, either in color or in black and white. A lot of printers are 3-in-1. They will be a printer, they will be a scanner where you can create files, and also where it's going to be, it can develop pictures. A USB is just a simple small piece of equipment, usually in a 32 megabyte, where it can handle, store information, and transport it to other places if you're going to transport it physically. RAM is called random access memory. It's just something that is inside the computers that they holds on to stuff, and things that you input and save, files that you save. GPS chip, a global positioning sensor, is a chip that is in every phone, and that you can activate it or not. You can choose to. A MacBook is a brand of laptop, popular brand that holds a lot of power. A portable hard drive is something you can take with you to other places to, use a computer. Coding is an operation that happens in a lot of IT places. Some are, some aren't. Now the CIO, this final one down here, is a Chief Information Officer. He's the person usually in charge of a project, and that he brings along. Now projects, when you're in an IT office, you usually work in teams of however many they need to have. And so when you get a project, it'll be in phases. Another vocabulary word called phases. Now I've described some. These are not every company's using this kind of terminology, but these are just some of the basic ones that I've come up with. Opening phase is the project introduction. What happens is companies will come to an IT company and ask them to figure out how to do this best. So they're going to describe the task at hand. The information gathering phase is where all the components are brought together that would be needed to be used in this project. The processing phase, where we take all the components and figure out what kind of job they will do. And the initial testing, you have all these components, and then you string them all together to make them work, and then you'll see how they work. And then they may go through 2 or 3 testings in this, depending on the project. And then we have the perfecting, where what we call the ironing out all the bugs to make sure it's streamlined and then it's going to go well. The finishing phase is where you polish it up, and final testing, making sure everything works. Several demonstrations before you present it back to your company, back to your customer. And then some of the words that you might use are called propose a solution. Propose. Say you're going through this testing period, and then something doesn't work. Something doesn't work right, and so you will use this propose solution. You and your IT buddies will get together and propose that solution, a fix. And then finally, the last terms, delivery of solution regarding the software products. I hope you wrote all this stuff down, or writing of all this stuff down will be necessary for you to gain the right knowledge and gain the right pronunciations. And we will go over and over and over this until we have it done. I thank you for your attention, and goodbye.